So hey guys, I'm just popping on really quickly to just give a little bit of an update on what we're doing to cover the recent meeting with senior uh, members, senior members of the Wolves hierarchy, namely Nathan Shee, Matt Jackson, Matt Wald, and Max Fitzgerald. The meeting lasted for nearly 3 hours. It was a long meeting, and it was attended by, as you know, 10 representatives of the different fan groups and podcasts, um, of which are on the you can see there. We've got Kieran from the Old Gold, Ryan, Wolves Report, Harry, 77 Club, Dave, Talking Wolves, myself, Always Wolves, Little Dan, Fancast, Sutty was there for Jason for the Wolf Whistle, which was good. Andy Sayata from Punjabi Wolves, Matthew from the Wolf Pack, and Chris from the Trust. Now, this is going to be a very short video. I'd say it was a late night on Thursday. I was out all last night, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview on all of what was discussed, but without going into any major details, because we are going to be doing an extra time special on Sunday evening, where we will do a very deep dive into the whole meeting, point by point, with three people that were at that meeting, which would be, of course, myself, which would be Chris, cheerful Chris Humphreys from the who's on the board of the Wolves 1877 Trust, and Sutty, who was also there. He's feeling a lot better. He hasn't been very well recently. A lot of you may not know he's been quite poorly, and he will be there as well. And I think it's really good to make sure that we get a cross section so that you can get a general feeling, not from one person, but from multiple people. But what I can say to you is that, you know, the club are only mandated to meet with the fans advisory board, and that did come up as part of the discussions. And obviously the trust, which are FSA registered. None of us that have got obviously various amounts of followers on different podcasts and channels feel like say that we actually we're not elected representatives, but we do like to try and represent and reflect the views that we get. We get lots of views from lots of people, and you know, we've been working hard for a very long time to try and open communication from the club, and obviously joining in, supporting the initiative from the Old Gold Pack in terms of the protests. And as a fan channel, you know, we try and cover all the news, give opinions, views, and awareness to everything that's been going on around that. So the meeting was well represented by lots of people from there that, you know, you all know, and it was a very open, honest, frank, strong meeting, and there was lots of strong views that were heard. There was lots of views that were said, and it wasn't I think, it was the fans are feeling this, and obviously portraying a lot of how the trust has been lost for one across a number of years, and there's a lot of work that's going to need to be done to get that trust back. And you see from the reaction from the letter, the statement that's gone out, which I'll put on the screen there, the statement that's gone out generally on social media, there's an element of the fan base that still think it's all, you know, doesn't mean anything, it's just a waste of time and stuff like that, and they're entitled to their opinions. And those are the people that, you know, and much deeper, that are going to need to see actions before they start to change their opinion. That I can tell you fully was strongly represented and reflected from everybody at that meeting. And all I can say is there was no preconceived agendas at all. There was no questions that were sent in before. Everything that was on there was asked, in a structured and organized way, but was asked very directly, and nothing was ducked. And then everyone along our panel that went were able to chip in and ask rhetorical questions once an answer had been given. And these are the things that we're going to dig deep in onto extra time on Sunday night. So make sure you are subscribed. You've got the bell notifications on that one, because we will be doing a really deep dive. The one thing that I can say from I'd met Jeff Shee briefly 3 times, not had any major serious ever conversations, but obviously I know a lot of people that from within the club that had dealt with Jeff, and obviously from what we know, he has a very autocratic style of leadership. Nathan seems a very, very different character. His English was excellent. He's got a very good background in terms of what he's done work-wise, intellectually. He was actually the right-hand man for Chairman Grower Fosun, and he's had various other projects, and this is a project that he's coming in that he's got to succeed on. And there's things we'll tell you on Sunday night about the sort of things that he was saying. But he cracked a few jokes as well whilst there. He had a laugh as well, so he shows he's human. Matt Jackson, Matt Wild, Max, and also Dave Wood, each one of those chipped in and were really keen to take on board what was saying. And when they were unsure of something, they'd ask deeper questions to understand what was being said as well. So I don't want to jump the gun, because I say I'm coming on here in the morning because, it was a late night on Thursday. I was out last night, going to the match in a minute. So our first real opportunity to dig deep and give honest, and you guys to be able to Q&A us whilst we're on air as live as well, will be Sunday night. But I came out of that meeting feeling that there was a sincerity to try and turn things around, and an openness to listen, and also an openness and something that we all push for would be further fan engagement and transparency. But we're fully aware, and they are fully aware, that actions are what's actually going to prove that words are just words, aren't they? But things do take time. So I don't want to go into too much here right now, because as I say, I'm going to the match. I haven't spoken publicly on the channel or reported on the channel since then, but I can assure you on Sunday night, all being well, we'll have Chris from the trust on the trust board, and he's met with them twice, because he met the week before with the trust board on their 23-point manifesto, so he'll be able to give in-depth points on that. And then he also came and represented the trust on the meeting with the fan channels and fan groups, which was quite interesting, because obviously he wanted to also see whether any of the narrative changed, whether there was any inconsistencies and stuff like that. And I thought it was really great as well that Sutty was there, because obviously he's been incredibly vocal. He did do a little bit of a speech within there. I'm sure he'll tell you all about that on Sunday night. And to have someone like Sutty that was in there as well was really, really good. And Jason, who's in Mexico, gave him his seat, because we could only take one person from each fan channel, because otherwise, the meeting could have got a real mess. But as I say, I've came out of it feeling a lot more positive, and felt that there was a real openness to listen, to soak up. Nathan, you know, was seems a very different character to Jeff, and I also spoke to someone at the Molyneux meet, which is a networking meeting on Tuesday, that worked at Wolves, and she said she worked in the department, that Nathan had been round to their department to sit with them to ask about their issues, what they can do to help. And I said, how was he compared to Jeff? And she said, we never saw Jeff. So that's the things I can tell you, but we'll dig deeper into this on Sunday night, where hopefully you'll join us and you guys can be able to, we'll literally, we'll break down the meeting section by section. We would be able to get the feelings of Chris and Sutty, and if we have another guest on as well from an independent, and you guys as well, and then you'll be able to Q&A us on our feelings and thoughts and what we feel we got out of it. But the club know that if actions aren't followed through, then obviously people, you know, will get angry again. So yeah, well, yeah, and you know, it's just we want to cover it properly on the channel. So if you bear with us Sunday night, then you'll be able to have an in-depth breakdown. But I just wanted to come on here. I've got a bit of a cold. I've got a Lemsip, but I just wanted to just come on and do a little brief statement that we will be covering it in a lot more depth. So make sure you've got your subscribe and your bell notifications clicked and on. And then Sunday night will be a really good show, and you guys will be able to Q&A us on what we're telling you as well. And yeah, of course, Dazzling Dave, it's like everyone knows me as that, don't they? So that's what everybody knows me as. So that's why that's generally it, really. What more can I say on that, really? It's just everybody knows me as that. And I'm quite public. Everyone knows all the people that are on there by their names as well. So that's important. So yeah, so guys, literally, yeah, I've heard that whiskey and lemon juice, but I have got my Lemsip just to get me through the day. So guys, yeah, Sunday night, I promise you, in depth, open, frankness, going through the meeting in depth, point by point, of what was asked, of what was said in detail. And you will get the honest views from Sutty and Chris, who are also in there. So you're going to get a broad spectrum, and then you guys can Q&A us as well. And yeah, let's hope we get a win later. Sorry if I sound really bunged up today. It's just a mild cold, that's all. Nothing major. But as I say, I've had 2 pretty late nights, and I haven't had a chance to come and do anything much on the channel before today. So I just wanted to pop on, just do a quick live, just to say we will be covering it in depth on Sunday night. So hopefully you'll be able to join us on that one, and it will be going out live here on the channel. So thank you ever so much for joining us today. Sorry I sound bunged up. Let's hope we can get 3 points. We have a good performance, and obviously we'll be doing our reaction as normal post the match. All the best to you guys. Always Wolves.